There's a great atmosphere here in the Monahan Orthopedic Capital Center, just 470 miles away from Bluefield, Virginia, where the Rams have come to face a bit of a home field advantage for the Lancers from Grace College. And Grace College in white, Bluefield College in red, 4 versus 5, our final men's game of the day here in the national championship first round of the NCCAA. And early, it's a long tray from Brandon Shields, the freshman from Fairmont, West Virginia, has Bluefield College the designated home team today, which is a bit strange. Off to a 3-0 run. I'm Daniel Gilman welcoming you into Winona Lake, Indiana, the home of the NCCAA National Championships. Banging his way down low is Logan Godfrey. Godfrey, the team's leading scorer at over 19.5 points a game, has the Grace Lancers on the board. It's Braxton Linville, along with Eddie Gill IV, Hayden Deaton, Charlie Warner, and you saw Logan Godfrey. Not afraid to run and take as many shots as they can are Bluefield College. As a deep three from Jeremiah Jenkins, no good. Down low to Godfrey, his dunk attempt can't fall. No foul called and running quickly. The red jersey wearing Rams out of Bluefield, Virginia. Mid-range jumper from the left side, Jorge Concepcion III. Bluefield with a 5-2 lead. Don't look away for a few minutes because you might come back and you miss about a dozen buckets. Quickly running up and down the court, both these teams. Grace College expecting to push it and chuck up a ton of threes against this high-powered Bluefield offense. Both teams hovering around 80 points a game. Bluefield at 79, Grace College at 84. As the Rams have Jeremiah Jenkins, Tyquan Reed, Jorge Concepcion, Brandon Shields, and Donnell Gooch out there, the 5 in this first-round game of a single elimination bracket. Winner takes on the top-ranked and top-seeded Cedarville University Yellow Jackets, who just decimated Nebraska Christian to the tune of 80-58. Hannibal LaGrange this morning beat Columbia International by 1, and Roberts Wesleyan beat Piedmont International. So those two teams will take the court tomorrow at 3:30 in a semifinal before the winner of this game and Cedarville take the court following at about 5:15. Godfrey will go to the line, the senior from Fort Wayne, 3rd team All-League this last season, 2nd team All-League this season. But his first free throw no good, about 76% from the line as well for their senior captain. Nearing 900 rebounds, already eclipsed the 1,500 point mark as a member of the Lancers. 5-3 the score here, finally a chance to catch our breath just about 2 minutes into the game. Quickly racing around the edge. Jenkins up and under for the bucket. Not too much support for Bluefield, but the ones that did make the trip rise to their feet in applause for the sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia, who put the bucket in to make it 7-3. Nice wraparound pass to Charlie Warner, whose shot is short. Picked up by Concepcion. Bluefield led by the 10th-year head coach Richard Morgan, the former Virginia star, whose name still sits in a ton of Virginia scoring record books. Morgan in his 10th season, I mentioned, alongside his assistant coach Ryan Moody. Last season, the Rams saw an exit in the 2nd round, the semifinal to Emmanuel College, who won the national championship. Bluefield finished with their 4th place here in their 3rd trip to the national championships. Grace College in their 12th trip here to the national championship that they're hosting. 6 of them trips to the NAIA championships for this Grace College team, led by 42nd-year head coach Jim Kessler. And I could spend the entire broadcast going through his resume as an and one on the bucket by Hayden Deaton, a Lafayette native just down the road, who's in his 2nd season and already named All-League. Deaton, an undersized forward who can handle the ball well, scoring just under 19 points a game for this Lancers team. Finishes the three-point play, and it's 7-6. If you're just stumbling upon this broadcast, Jim Kessler, the head coach for Grace College, the legendary Hall of Famer in his final season. So this could be his final meaningful game. A ton of fans out here in support. A slew, a bit of the student section there standing just across from the Grace bench. Rebound picked up by Braxton Linville, the junior guard from Napanee, Indiana. And Deaton goes strong. He'll go back to the line for a pair of free throws. He's 77% from the line already, 1 for 1 today. 16 and 15 mark this season for Grace College. Last season they were 12 and 18, didn't garner a trip to this tournament. And a tough gauntlet they went through in the Crossroads League, a league that saw their own member win the NAIA championship in Spring Arbor. But the Lancers went 5 and 13 in conference play as Deaton ties it up at 7. Deaton, a 6'5" sophomore. Gives Grace their first lead of this game. The Lancers, who didn't make it to the tournament last season, lost in the semifinal in 2017 and 2016. Making their 6th of the last 7 trips to this tournament. They actually opened the regular season as the NCCAA third-ranked team in the country, but they dropped out after a few weeks, haven't been able to work their way back in. Finished the power rating at 17. And by winning the Midwest Regional, they didn't have to hope for an at-large bid. Here they are with the 5 seed. Corner 3, Tyquan Reed, no good. Off of the hands of Logan Godfrey and out of bounds. That's Rams basketball. The Bluefield College 11 and 11 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. As I mentioned, they lost in the semifinals last season, an 18 and 15 season for Richard Morgan as they fell to the champs. Good ball movement inside. Godfrey averaging 20 a game. Good dish inside to Linville, and it's 10-9 now. Linville more of an assist man than a pure scorer, averaging 5 a game, but he'll take that and grab the rebound on the short-range miss. Takes the screen, gets it back to Godfrey, and down on the court, Godfrey's fouled. Already the 5th personal foul for the Bluefield Rams. And we have our first substitution of the game. Richard Morgan's gonna send in Naquan Cousins, take out Jorge Concepcion. Cousins, a junior out of Raleigh. Last season all-tournament team here in Winona Lake, as the mid-ranger from the right corner is no good. Picked up quickly and running his read. Slows it down and drops it off to Jenkins. A ton of accolades down his Bluefield team. Cousins was all-tournament, and then 3 all-conference teams. Concepcion last season. This year, Jenkins and Reed made the AAC second team. Up top, this is Brandon Shields, and he's wet. Brandon Shields now back-to-back 3-pointers, and it's 12-10, the lead for Bluefield. Fans that have stayed all day long have seen some fantastic finishes. Earlier today, Hannibal LaGrange topped Columbia International by 1, and then Bruton Parker, the women, came back from 19 down to top Judson and eliminate them. Shields wide open in transition. It's a putback dunk. Coming out of nowhere is Cousins, and we're gonna have a stoppage of play over near the Bluefield bench. They're gonna call a timeout to prevent a possible technical foul because the entire team was on the court. Wow, out of nowhere. Flying with no regard is the Raleigh native, and it's 14-10 as we'll take a break as well. Grace, the host, trying to combat a mid-first half run by the Bluefield Rams. One of the many advantages of hosting the tournament, bringing your band, as the Grace College Lancers have home court advantage, but that dunk silenced everyone by Naquan Cousins, transfer from Vance Granville. And Bluefield has a 14-10 lead. Long three, Charlie Warner, everything but the bottom of the nylon, and it's picked up by Cousins. These a matchup of teams that are regional champions, the Midwest for Grace College, the Mid-East for Bluefield College. Bluefield won their regional in dramatic fashion with a buzzer-beating layup by Francisco Williams. We'll see Williams off the bench today, number 0 for Bluefield, the senior out of Queens. Grace took care of Cincinnati Christian by 9 points. 3 players with 20 or more in that flexing of talents by Jim Kessler's squad. This is a 3 from Cousins. He's a multifaceted scorer. Saw him rise for the dunk, and now the 3 extends the run. It's an 8-0 run for Bluefield. Grace looking to score for the first time in 2.5 minutes. Here's Linville, team's leading passer, and it looks like we're gonna have an offensive foul. An illegal screen over in the corner, and going down hard there is Olatunji Abifame. And he is down holding his head. The senior from Nigeria went to high school just down the road in Arcadia. So Sons gets called for the foul coming off the bench, the junior from Rushville, Indiana. Hard foul there in the corner, offensive as well, so that works as a turnover as Bluefield tries to stretch out their lead at 17-10. Shields already has a pair of long-range shots. This one way off, looked like he wanted to draw the foul. Also in the game for Bluefield is number 3, Wes Ayers, a freshman. And Olatunji Ebafemi comes back in. Good to see him after he took a hard fall. He gives Taekwon Reed a spell. Hayden Deaton, 6 points today, leading the team. Tying Shields for the game lead in points. As Martin Sheely sees his first appearance on the court, he's number 11 in white, along with Tice Frank, number 25. Deaton, wide open 3, and it rolls around and bounces out, picked up by Wes Ayers. Ayers is gonna run. One-on-one with Sheely. A little one-step around him, and it's blocked by the side of the rim. Offensive rebound picked up by Naquan Cousins. Blocking foul called against Tice Frank. Third foul for Grace College. Jenkins comes in for Shields. Shields has 6 points on a pair of long 3-pointers. The D2 championships took place just a couple days ago in the NCCAA, and Grace Christian beat Great Lakes in overtime by 1 as Grace College tries to follow the Grace name by advancing to the semifinals here. Warner comes out. On the floor now for Grace, Jarrett Sons, Logan Godfrey, Hayden Deaton, Tice Frank, and Martin Sheely. Driving from the corner is Olatunji Ebafemi. He drops it back out to Cousins. Richard Morgan barking out orders to Wes Ayers, and they know to listen to the one-time All-ACC member in the Cavalier jersey down in Charlottesville, Virginia, as the shot misses off the left iron. Godfrey tried to save it, but it looks like his foot was out of bounds before he flung it back in. Stays with Rams ball. Bluefield, the 17th team in the nation in defense, just allowing 77 points a game, Grace allowing 80. And despite the rampant hot pace, last few minutes have settled down. Grace hasn't scored in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. They've been stuck at 10 for a while. Still an 8-0 run, but Bluefield hasn't scored in 2 minutes. It's been stuck at 17-10. Ayers will try this again. Finds Francisco Williams, who comes in, give and go from the corner, back rim, and picked up by Deaton. Suns looking to work. Instead, he drops it to Sheely. Good ball movement around the corner. Godfrey is found, and he gets a lot of contact going up from Cousins. No call and no bucket. The tray from Naquan Cousins. He's got a pair along with the dunk, and it's 20-10. Bluefield doubling up the hosts here in Grace College. Suns, a turnaround jumper, ends the scoreless run of just over 5 minutes for the Lancers. Jenkins trying to find some room to work. He backs it up, takes the shot from about 17 feet out, and it's picked up by Deaton. Hayden Deaton now with a pair of rebounds. Deaton, one of 4 returning starters from the 2018 Lancer team. It's in the corner, shot by Frank, no good. Godfrey, Linville, and Jenkins as well started last season for the 12 and 18 squad. Somebody take his temperature. Naquan Cousins is on fire. Another 3, this time from the right flank, and it's 23-12. Looks like they might have called it a 2 with his foot on the line, so we'll change that for the time being to 22-12. And this bucket on the other side, no good. Ayers gets into traffic, bumps against Suns, and a late foul call made. Gives me a great chance to introduce our referee crew today. That one called by Corey Furman in the far corner. Pardon me, our head referee there, Jason Enrique, with the call. Corey Furman and Jeremy Swafford are 3 zebras for this late afternoon affair between Grace College and Bluefield College, and the Rams lead 22-12, led by 10 points, all out of nowhere from Naquan Cousins off the bench. And a timeout called. Coach K wants to talk things over. We'll take a break as well on the NCCAA Network. All 10 of Bluefield's bench points coming from number 1, Naquan Cousins, the transfer from Vance Granville. Came with his teammate Naquan Reed, and the two of them have made quite the impression, combining for about 19 points a game for the Rams, who have an 18-13 record here coming into this matchup with Grace, a 5 versus 4 battle that we'll see repeated in our next game. 5 versus 4, Grace versus Bluefield in the women's side of the bracket. For the men, they know who they'll face next. The winner takes on top-seeded Cedarville, who defeated Nebraska Christian by 22 points in the previous game. Ooh, almost a backcourt there. That one a little testy as the fans get loud. Francisco Williams directing traffic, drops it off to Ebafemi. Sweet shot there by Olatunji Ebafemi. As the designated home team in this game, Bluefield leads 24-12. And now Logan Godfrey on the dish from Suns. So Bluefield leads 24-14, as we'll try to get this scoreboard fixed for you. So there we go, we got it situated. Bluefield is the designated home team, but we've got Grace as the home team. They're the host of this tournament. And now after that turnover, the Lancers trying to cut into this lead. Grace led by Hayden Deaton, 6 points. 3 rebounds by Linville, who usually is dishing out assists. As Jared Sons comes through with the tray. And now finally a long ball. They were 0 for 5 entering that shot by Sons, and the junior from Rushville, who's only shooting about 28% from long range, gets him back in it. Mid-range jumper inside the three-point line from Jenkins, and some momentum going alongside the Lancers. It's 24-17 Bluefield. Martin Sheely, Suns, heat check. No good, and the rebound, a strong one by Nyquan Cousins, who stands 6'6" and picks up rebound number 5, leading the team in points and boards. Staring down the defense is the senior Taekwon Reed, a step back. Bit of a James Harden shot there, but he gets right back, gets the pass, and they're not gonna call the bucket. The foul called on the floor on a beautiful dish from Cousins. He wanted the assist. Reed wanted the points and the one. And instead it'll just be a foul on the court. 6th foul for Grace, as Cousins will take a break. In comes the hot shooting. Pardon me, I thought that was Brandon Shields coming in for Bluefield. Shot from the corner, no good. Charlie Warner finally getting on the scoreboard. That's his first make of 3 shots, and it's 24-19. And an offensive foul called on a moving screen by Ebafemi. Ben Grove checks into the game for Bluefield, wearing number 21. Deep shot, Suns, book it, and Grace College has found their way back into this game. Once a 10-point affair, now a 10-0 run. Bluefield now the team on the losing side of a scoring drought. 2.5 minutes for the Rams without a bucket. Double screen action. Backside pass to Reed, spin move against Linville, and he can't find it to fall. Suns picks up the rebound. Sheely steps right into a 3 in transition, and the lead to Grace. Didn't I tell you this would be fast-paced? We had a bit of a slow portion midway through that first half, but here in the trail end of the opening half, Bluefield starting to get desperate and Grace settling in. Linville wants to slow things down. Number 1 in the nation in assist to turnover ratio for Braxton Linville, trying to pick up his first dish. No, Suns can't pick it up. Linville instead picks up his 4th rebound. trying to find someone who'll score. Warner inside to Sons, one-on-one. He gets around Grove and can't finish. Rebound picked up by Reed. Strong run, big block by Warner. And the rebound, though, picked up by Grove. Long toss is gonna get kept in, but a back court violation is called. Richard Morgan exclaiming the ball was tipped. I'm not sure if you can say that Grove had possession on that save attempt, but I'm pretty sure that our down judge Corey Furman is gonna say that he started on one side and then finished in the other on the reception from the pass. So they're gonna stick with their call of backcourt. 25-24 with 5:39 left in this opening frame. Linville directing traffic, defended by Concepcion. Warner, who just picked up his first bucket a few minutes ago, has 2 points. He's averaging 17 a game. Deaton drives a double team, flings up a prayer, rebounded by Godfrey, and he's fouled. Was waiting for the call there as Logan Godfrey tried to put that back off the glass, and he'll go to the line for 2. Bluefield hasn't scored in 4.5 minutes, as Logan Godfrey will go to the line. 4 of 5 from the line today, Grace. 73% on the season, and Godfrey contributes. Logan, a 76% free throw shooter. Last season in the first round, or excuse me, 2 years ago in the first round, Grace took Central Baptist to 2 overtimes before coming through with the win. Godfrey had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 40 minutes played in the double overtime win before dropping the second round. Sign me up for a double overtime thriller. Pass comes inside, it's 27-24. Sitting in the corner is Cousins. He throws up a prayer. Linville answers, and it's picked up by Sheely. This game will solidify our first round of the men's bracket, with Cedarville awaiting, and Hannibal, LaGrange, and Roberts Wesleyan on the other side. Corner, Deaton. No good. Offensive rebound again by Godfrey, his second in consecutive possessions, but his shot blocked. Picked up by Linville. No look pass comes inside to Sheely. 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go in this back and forth first half. Grace with the lead. Linville trying to find that first assist. Deaton throws up a duck, but he's fouled. And Hayden Deaton going to the line. 18 fouls now. And Donnell Gooch wants to know what he did. Gooch now has 3 personal fouls, so don't expect to see him for a little bit. Deaton started this game with a pair of free throws. He leads the team now with 4 of them out of 5 attempts today. It's a 16-0 run for Grace College over the last 5.5 minutes. As Eddie Gill comes in, he's been sitting for a long time, got the start today, the freshman from Carmel. As Wes Ayers and Francisco Williams come in for Gooch and Jenkins. A 17-0 run for Grace College, looking to stop at the Rams. Ayers has the ball, gets a screen from Williams. And now the team's hottest scorer today is Naquan Cousins. He'll hand it off, a lot of handoffs, a lot of one-on-one action with ball screens here for this Rams offense. Handoff, deep 3 from the top of the key is good from Jorge Concepcion. 29-27, that's a way to end a scoreless drought of just under 6 minutes. 3.5 to go, 2-point game. First half of action in this matchup between 4 and 5. You expect it to be close. And a nice one-handed jump shot from about 2 feet away hooks it in from Godfrey. Logan Godfrey now with 8 points. Tying Deaton and Sons for the team lead. Cousins has 10. Williams finds Concepcion, who just had a handoff three, defended tightly by Linville. Double team comes, it evaporates, and an easy bucket on some nice deception from Concepcion. Gill to Warner, and now Grace slows it down a bit. The Lancers were 46% from the field in their championship win of the regionals against Cincinnati Christian. We're only 6 of 20 from 3, and today haven't really thrown up as many prayers. 3 of 11 from behind the arc, but 10 of 26 overall from the field, and Richard Morgan is livid for another foul call. Not sure if he's upset at his player or the referee. So now, regardless of a shooting foul or not, over the last 2:20, Grace will be in the double bonus. Cousins gets called for that foul. He now has 1. And it sends Deaton to the line again. This time it's a brick. As Hayden Deaton, 6 of 7 from the free throw stripe, as Ben Grove comes in for Francisco Williams. One of 2 from the sophomore, and it's 32-29. This is Concepcion, works Linville, draws a double team, and now gets the handoff. Good pass inside to Grove, who high steps it off the glass. Ben Grove, the freshman from Atlanta, standing 6'8" with his first bucket of the game. Didn't play in the regional championship against Hiwassee. Now the team needs him, and he stepped up big. 32-31 with 1:40 to go. Deaton, who's increased his dribbling ability over the last year, really got thrown into the fire as a freshman. Now coming into more of his own as a sophomore. Nearly a shot clock violation. The foul, the bucket, the ice in the veins of Jorge Concepcion as he points to those veins, and Bluefield has a lead. Sons comes in as Concepcion will go to the line. Now with 9 points. Looking for 10 and a 2-point lead. Seventh team foul for Grace. Concepcion, a 78% free throw shooter, drops this one just short. $1:15 to go. We'll see how Coach Kessler decides to use the final minute and change here offensively for his Lancers. Warner as a bit of a facilitator, blocked by Grove, right back to Sons, and he gets called for a travel. Ben Grove exclaims, and Bluefield is fired up. Jeremiah Jenkins comes in, Ayers comes out, Cousins takes a break, Brandon Shields checks in for the Rams. In for the Lancers, Gill, Linville, Deaton, Warner, and Godfrey. The starting 5 for Grace College here for this final 55 seconds. Shields, who started the game with a pair of threes, hasn't taken a shot since. Concepcion's been on fire, he has 9 points. Cousins with 10, holds it at the top of the key. 8 seconds in the shot clock, a spinning, flinging, just missing from Cousins. And now with 34 seconds, 7 seconds separate shot and game as Grace tries to take the lead back before the half. Ooh, tiptoeing around to travel there is Gill as Linville will reset. No assists for Braxton Linville. 8 rebounds, 2 points for the team's point guard. As Deaton gets in some trouble in the corner. Mid-range jumper from Godfrey, no good. 10 seconds on the clock, and Bluefield will have at least the lead. We'll see if they advance. It's Jenkins. Mid-range jumper with 2 seconds, no good. Offensive rebound, put back, no good. And it falls harmlessly as the clock hits triple zeros. And an exciting, fast-paced, high-flying first half comes to a close here from Grace College's home court, the Manahan Orthopedic Capital Center in Winona Lake. As we'll take about a 10-minute break here. Everyone can breathe for a second watching this one at home as Coach K goes for win number 788. And more importantly, trying to keep their season alive in round 1 of the NCCAA National Championships on the NCCAA Basketball Network.
The NCCAA mission states, "We are committed to equipping student athletes and coaches to make a positive impact for Christ." Equipping student athletes and coaches involves the creation and distribution of tools and resources needed for a particular purpose. We promote outreach and ministry for the enhancement of athletic competition with a Christian perspective. One tool is Game Plan for Life, a character initiative to promote the biblical characteristics of love, integrity, faith, and excellence. Equipping student athletes with a game plan will remain with them throughout their entire lives. The NCCA mission states, "We are an association of Christ-centered collegiate institutions whose mission is to use athletic competition as an integral component of education, evangelism, and encouragement." The impact of the NCCAA has been felt for 50 years throughout the country and around the world. Encouraging mission trips is at the heart of this impact. We know short-term missions impacts everyone involved and changes the trajectory of lives. Sometimes it can affect the missionary as much or more than those being served. Our Sports Ministry Fund has supported more than 5,000 individuals via domestic and international missions. We exist not only to crown national champions, but to share the love of Christ wherever it is needed. The NCCAA mission states, "We serve members by setting association standards, developing communications resources, providing regional and national competition, and partnering in outreach to our communities and the world." Bylaws, eligibility, statistics, and championships are all part of being an athletic association. Our services help propel intercollegiate athletics on and off campus. We intentionally place our student athletes and coaches in Christian service projects during championship events to answer the question, what would Christ do in these communities?
for questionable travel that leads to a 3. And now on the pass to him, he seemed to have his back heel out of bounds. The Lancers trying to slow things down. They looked up and were down by 6 out of nowhere on a pair of 3s. Gill defended by Shields. Up top to Hayden Deaton, the sophomore, step back 3 for the forward, and it can't fall. Rebounded by Gooch, the senior from Wendell, North Carolina. Jenkins to the corner. Concepcion has all day and half of tomorrow, and there's 9 straight points, all on 3s. Wow. First, it was Reed. Then it was Shields. And finally, the nail that puts the timeout on for Coach K is the bucket by Concepcion. It's 44-35, an 11-0 run, capped off by that tray, and we'll take a timeout with him. 44-35, 17-20 to go in this production of NCCAA basketball. We'll see if the freshman Eddie Gill IV can slow things down as the Lancers look to check in Jared Sons, who brought his heat in the first half for a solid 8 points. To the inside, and it is Gill. No, they're gonna call it offensive around the cylinder. And the goaltending against Eddie Gill takes the 2 points off the board and leads a 9-point lead for BC here 3 minutes into the second half. Nine points, the largest lead of the game. Concepcion works around a moving screen, and Gooch is called for the foul. Fourth foul for Gooch. He had to play conservative, he didn't, and now Francisco Williams is gonna come in. Donnell Gooch gets a word from his head coach, Richard Morgan. So looking at the Grace College box score, they're gonna need something from Charlie Warner, Logan Godfrey. The two of them combined for just 11 first half points. Warner tries for a deep 3 and then produces what was a very intelligent foul. Looked like it could have been a flagrant with nobody in front of him in between the ball handler and the basket, but instead they just call a common foul on Grace College. And the inbound comes down in front of Grace College fans. Contact on Reed, no call. He gathers the ball. Now we'll see what the 5'8" Jeremiah Jenkins can do. Gets it back to Reed. Deep 3 in the face of Deaton, and it falls. 4 straight threes for the visitors, and Bluefield leads by 12. Wow, now shooting 50% from long range as the offensive rebound by Godfield can't fall. And if he can't put that one in from that range, nothing's going in for the Lancers here at home. 9 of 18, 4 of 4 this half from deep for Bluefield, as Grace struggles to the mark of a 27% field goal mark. Jenkins slowly dribbles it up. In Bluefield terms, this is a slow possession. Takes him about 14 seconds to shoot. It's a long-range 3 from Concepcion. That one a bit forced. Now we'll see if Linville can pick up his first assist. He's averaging almost 5.5 a game. 5th in the nation. Suns, 3. He knew it was off. Rebound, though, offensive by Deaton. Before the game, Hayden Deaton talked to me about playing in high school with Romeo Langford, and although he's a Purdue fan, he's watched the Indiana freshman play well, and now this Indiana freshman, sophomore, hits the corner J, pulling it within 10. So Hayden Deaton has 11 points. Leads the team. Concepcion's 12, leads all scorers as Jenkins is blocked going to the hole, and it's called out of bounds off of Bluefield as Francisco Williams knocks it out. And Shields will take a break for Naquan Cousins. Concepcion, Cousins, Williams, Reed, and Jenkins, the 5 for Bluefield, up against Linville, Sons, Godfrey, Warner, and Deaton. Warner has it here. He's made 1 3 this half. Only 1 of 2 made buckets in the 5 minutes we've seen the second half come. And there's a 3 for Deaton and a fist bump as well. Back-to-back buckets for Hayden Deaton just when his team needed it. And they're down 7. Deaton's got 14 to lead the team. Hayden Deaton was one of 3 players with 20 or more points in their last game, the regional final against Cincinnati Christian. He had 21. Bluefield getting fed up with all these foul calls inside. That one goes against Cousins, his second. Now it's Bluefield who's driving a bit of a drought. They'll look to score for the first time in 2 minutes. It's Cousins, fakes the 3. Even his teammate Williams was expecting him to shoot, but a heads-up play by the senior to keep it in. Instead, Bluefield can't take up a shot. They weren't looking at the clock, and there's their second shot clock violation of the game. Enter Charlie Warner across the timeline. Good swing motion. Godfrey stepped out of bounds, but yep, they're gonna call out of bounds. No, they call the foul instead. So the foul goes against Francisco Williams. Only the second team foul of the half. And Linville passes it in, 47-40 with 13:53 to go. Grace trying to reach the semifinals for their 3rd straight time. They missed the tournament last season. Won in double overtime against Central Baptist in 2017 as a 5 seed as they are here today. Offensive foul. Godfrey called for the foul. That's his second of the game. Team's second, and now Naquan Cousins is going to plead his case, trying to get the referee to watch out for that again. Grace is getting ready to check in Tice Frank. As a double team forces a turnover on the pass to Williams. Nifty pass up to Deaton. Deaton gets a moving screen, and the bucket for Hayden Deaton. It's been all him this half for the home Lancers, 47-42. Hayden Deaton himself on an 8-0 run. And a foul on the floor now on the drive from the right side. Reed was the victim. Deaton called for the foul as Linville comes out for Tice Frank, the freshman from Marion. Jeremiah Jenkins, 6 points today, gets it inside. Up and under for Concepcion, who has 14 to lead the team. Concepcion named to the second team last season. Didn't get any accolades this year, averaging 12 and 5. Suns, nifty pass under to Frank, and Tice Frank now has his first bucket. Very impressed with Jarrett's Suns. He's come off the bench, hit a couple threes, now has 2 assists and 4 rebounds. Dribbling in from the left is Reed. He has to pick up that dribble and finds Jenkins in space. Nice move to back up Frank and add some space. A step back J for Jeremiah Jenkins. 51, or no, they call it a 3, pardon me, 53-44. Deep three trying to combat that with Suns, and then a collision there. And a foul goes against Bluefield, I believe. Bit of a 50-50 call as Franks and Reed went at it. And they call the foul against the Rams as Reed picks up his second foul. Warner gets space, foot on the line. Picked up by Williams. Jenkins nearly took another one from range. Defended by Deaton. Here's a mismatch. 5'8" on 6'5". Just playing catch right now like father and son. Jenkins now on Frank. Again, he takes advantage of Frank's defensive miscue, but it's bounced off of the iron, picked up by Deaton. Good pass outside, Deaton from the corner. Wow, he hit another one. That's gonna force a timeout because Hayden Deaton right now is single-handedly fueling the Lancers. Trailing by 5, we'll take a break as Hayden Deaton needs to cool off his right hand. Ten second-half points for Hayden Deaton. And the sophomore from Lafayette, Indiana, has Grace College right back in this game, trailing by 5 with under 11:20 to go. For Bluefield, it's been a barrage of consistent, effective shots, 7 of 10 this half. That's 70% for all you math majors. Jenkins gets the pass back, 6 seconds on the clock. Let's see if Cousins notices. Gets around Frank, nearly rolls it in off the rim. And Grace a chance to cut back within, maybe pull it within one possession. Up to Godfrey, and he took advantage of a mismatch, but got a little too late into the possession. Pass back, Cousins, 3, money. Naquan Cousins had a pair of 3s in the first half, adds another one here, and Cousins total up to 13, 55-47. Cousins and Shields each have 3 threes. Suns and Deaton each have 2. 6 of 7 from behind the three-point arc this half. For Bluefield, Hayden Deaton himself has 3 threes this half. And Grace and Hayden Deaton right back in it, down 5. Every second you think that Bluefield is gonna stretch it out, number 10 with the long hair for Grace keeps him in it. Just about 10 minutes to go. Nice cutting action from Reed, but his shot drifted wide. Up to Sheely. Off the bench, Sheely with some speed gets fouled. Martin Sheely from Hammond, Indiana, looking to add to his 3 points today. Goes to the free throw line, hitting about 8 out of his 10 free throws on the season. And we'll take a media timeout here at 9:59. First free throws of the half for either team. In fact, Bluefield has only been to the line once all night, and they missed that one free throw attempt. So Bluefield doing this without any charity, as we'll take a break. You can watch the Grace College cheerleaders out on midcourt here from the Manahan Orthopedic Capital Center in Winona Lake, Indiana on the nccaa.org. Both these teams with high-powered offenses. Grace 11th in the nation in scoring at 84 points per game. Bluefield down at 79.5 points a game. But Bluefield, the team that looks like they're up in the 90s in points per game because they have been on fire. Martin Sheely adds the free throw to pull within 4. Daniel Gilman here perched, looking over the big G at the midcourt for our 6th game of the day. 2 more to go as we enter into the night session of day 1 from the NCCAA National Championships. 2 women matchups as Grace and Bluefield will do battle again following this one. A 4-point play for Taekwon Reed. You could put half a lid on the bucket, and I think Bluefield would find a way to make it at this point. They have now hit 8 of their 9 3-pointers this half. That is an incredibly efficient mark. Something that is nearly unsustainable here with 9:46 to go. And if you're a Grace fan, you have to hope that Hayden Deaton and your offense can keep it going. 4-point play for Reed. He now has 10. It's 59-52. And on the flip side of what I said a few minutes ago, every time you think Grace has it back in, Bluefield finds a way to continue to separate. And just like that, Sheely finds another bucket. (59-54) as Martin Sheely hits a 2-pointer. Sheely with 7 points. No angle there, pass inside from Cousins, and he's shown incredible range, both with the eyes and the hands, as Concepcion lays it in, 61-54. Deep 3 for Charlie Warner, and Richard Morgan is beside himself. They lead Warner wide open once again. 61-57, these teams continue to trade blows. Deep 3, Jenkins. No good, and no one's there for the rebound offensively. Settling it down is Frank. Left side, Deaton. Deaton did mention they're gonna push it and chuck up threes, and chucking up threes is what they've done. 8 of 23 from behind the arc, but just enough have gone in to keep this one a game. 4 points the deficit. Popped out of Deaton's hands, right back to him. Over to Warner, dishes it in, 59-61. For a team shooting 63% in the second half, Bluefield has not done a good enough job separating themselves, and Richard Morgan wants time. 61-59. As we've seen Hayden Deaton and Jorge Concepcion trade punches here in the second half. Warner has added a few threes as well, as he's 17th in the nation from behind the arc at 48%. The one thing these teams excel at that we haven't seen too much of are free throw shooting. 11 of 13 for Grace has been fantastic. Most of those in the first half, 9 of them in fact. Bluefield has only been to the line twice today. The 4-point play a minute ago and a near 3-point play in the first half. They're 1 of 2 from the line. 9 points is the largest lead, or I should say, 12 points is the largest lead for Bluefield. Grace last led back midway through the first half when they led 29-24. This has been a fantastic battle so far here. One of these teams unfortunately has to lose, drop into the consolation round, while they will take on Nebraska Christian. That game tomorrow at 10:15 following the Columbia Piedmont affair. Winner takes on Cedarville at 5:15. The other side of the winner's bracket is Hannibal LaGrange against Roberts Wesleyan at 3:30. finally, it looks like Jenkins is going to take some time. He drops, pops, and locks it. Jeremiah Jenkins gives his team a 4-point lead. Jenkins has had a fantastic second half now with 11 points. Only had 4 in the first half. Shealy as well has played well in the second half. To the corner, Warner wide open again. How do you keep leaving their best three-point shooter open? 63-62 with 7 and change remaining in this game. First round affair of a single elimination tournament. Both teams looking for their first basketball championship. Jenkins drives, flings one up wildly, and it's rebounded by Warner. A chance for Grace to get their first lead of the half. To the corner, it's Deaton. He's wide open. This defense is purely optional for Bluefield, and the rebound gathered and knocked out of bounds by Godfrey. Man, Deaton thought he had that one halfway down, and he's shaking his head. As fantastic of a game he's had, they'll need more of him. 22 points for the sophomore. Honorable mention, all Crossroads League for Deaton. As Jenkins, the second teamer in the conference back-to-back years, carries it up the court. Shealy against Jenkins. The sophomore Shealy in there for his defense. Down low, this is Cousins against Deaton, and he takes advantage and drops in the 2 with the left hand. Back to back they go, continuing to close and separate, and the no-look pass to Deaton, batted away by Cousins. Naquan Cousins had a fantastic stretch in the first half with a putback dunk and back-to-back threes. He's had a strong second half as well, 15 points for the junior. Averaging 14 and 8 a game. Cousins has 15 and 6 currently. Again to the corner. This time it's Shealy wide open, and the bounce, the home court bounce, has this one tied up. Man, we have not had a tie in quite some time. 5:45 to go. Spin move by Jenkins. Gets open for a 3. Throws one up. Offensive rebound. Ball is loose. Gooch with 4 fouls. Did he pick up a 5th? They're going to call it out of bounds. And man, Donnell Gooch just got away with a potential push, which would have fouled him out of the game. Very risky to have him in there with 6 minutes to go, 5.5. But it's Bluefield ball under their own hoop. Passing it in, Wes Ayers. This Bluefield team isn't too deep. Ayers provides some nice bounce off the bench. Down low, Cousins, who, mind you, came off the bench today. He's responsible for 15 of the team's 19 bench points. A chance for Grace to take the lead, and they're gonna call time and have their veteran head coach talk things over with 5:21 to go. Jim Kessler, the 2016 NAIA Hall of Fame inductee, 1994 NCCAA Hall of Fame inductee, takes some time to share some wisdom as we'll take a break with 5:21 to go in this tight affair of the national championship on the nccaa.org. As you can hear from our PA announcer, Francisco Williams comes in. Bluefield in red as Cousins guards the inbounds pass from Warner. So happy that you've chosen to join us here on this Wednesday evening. NCCAA National Championship first round, 5 versus 4. I'm Daniel Gilman. Pass comes inside to Hayden Deaton. And the foul called on the floor on a bit of a pull. Shields, Cousins, Williams, Ayers. And the passes are errant, and Concepcion on the court. This is going to lead to Cousins, who drops it in. That is a costly turnover, which is a bit of a 4-point swing as opposed to a Grace lead. It's a 2-point bucket for Cousins. On the court for Grayson White, it's Sheely, who just got the pass from Deaton. Down low is Godfrey, and a nice drop in by Sheely, and he's talking some smack. Along with Godfrey is Warner and Frank, and we're tied at 67. On the near side, we're looking at Jorge Concepcion. Drops it down into the post. Give and go, Concepcion from the corner, no good. Offensive rebound, no, they collide, and Williams is quite upset with Concepcion there. Tied at 67, 4:15 to go. Open, Frank drops it down low. Godfrey, he's been quiet. Can't get it to fall off the glass, and it's a rebound. Godfrey with just 8 points, 0 in the second half for their all-league member. Concepcion has had a 7-point second half. He has it here, looks up at the clock, 10 seconds on the shot clock. 3:45 on the game clock. Spinning, Cousins hangs, and he's fouled. Called a little late, but the right call there with a lot of contact down low. Warner's third foul. And we'll finally see, this is the first shooting foul of the game that wasn't made a bucket. So the first time that Bluefield will go to the line for 2. We'll hear the red zone make some noise, the fan section for Grace. Cousins, who's a 73% free throw shooter, gives the visitors the lead. Bluefield has led for 74% of this game. And they lead by 2. Cousins now with 17. 1 above Concepcion for the team lead. Deaton has 22. He has been the entire team this half for Grace. Now we'll have a little bit longer of a break between this game and the next Grace Bluefield game, the women game, because all the teams will parade on the court. Still 3.5 minutes until then. Sheely, far from his hoop. Finally, Braxton Linville back in the game. Been waiting for his return. Linville's had an uncharacteristic game. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 points. 6 on the clock. Sheely drives, the foul, and the bucket! They're gonna call that Brandon Shields was standing on the restricted area. No, they changed the call, it's a charge, holy cow. Fans are still just realizing it. Oh man. And it goes to Bluefield, leading by 2. What a swing of emotion from a 3-point play and potentially the lead to none of it. And now Bluefield in the bonus as well. That was the 16th foul. Concepcion finds some room, drops it in from about 17 feet out. Concepcion and Cousins battling for the team lead in scoring. Now it's Concepcion with 18. More importantly for them, they lead by 4. Sheely down low, Warner from about 10, no good. Godfrey pursued too hard, no defense. Oh my goodness, a windmill dunk in a 4-point game. Now it's 6. Are you kidding me with the clarification from the referee a minute ago, and now Bluefield's gonna get a warning from their bench. From a block to a charge, and now they get teed up. Everything that's gone down in the past few minutes has been all Bluefield, and the windmill dunk there. How many times in a game? Wow. Now a tee is gonna be massive because Warner, or whoever Coach K chooses to shoot the free throws, Warner's the team leader with 87%, will have a chance to cut into the lead after all the momentum was over on Coach Richard Morgan's side, but still the audacity to throw down and take out the windmill dunk. Holy moly. In a 4-point game with 2.5 minutes to go, now it's 6 points. That just shows to the athleticism of the Raleigh, North Carolina native Naquan Cousins, who was named All-Tournament last season here on this floor and already has put in a bid for his All-Tournament nod once again. I have a feeling that that dunk will somehow find its way to Twitter in the next 24 hours. But nonetheless, Richard Morgan cannot be happy. I mean, he was there with his team celebrating, but they got the warning they couldn't move past a certain corner. And once they did, they got teed up as it's Charlie Warner shooting the free throws. First one up and good from the junior from Westfield. Just a massive free 2 points here. Massive. From 6 points to 4 points, it's like that dunk didn't happen, and Grace gets the ball. Still, a windmill dunk in a single elimination tournament game late in the fourth, or the second half. Linville, 2.5 minutes to go. Sheely, a pair of point guards out on the floor for Kessler's squad. In the corner, Warner misses. Concepcion picks it up. Warner and Godfrey today, a combined 8 for 29. Sheely's been a bright spot, 4 for 4. Beautiful pass from Gooch. Someone not often asked to find it with the dish. 75-69 with 1:55 to go. Bluefield out here competing against the Lancers and their crowd as Warner makes it look easy and the teams keep swapping buckets. Not much defense being played in the second half. Bluefield won the regional game against Tawassee on a buzzer beater by Francisco Williams. Will this one come down to the same fate? Jenkins from deep, it's short. Picked up by Warner. Charlie Warner now with only 2 rebounds on this game. Deaton's truly done everything. They ask Sheely, who airballs it. Look at Deaton go on the offensive boards. 1 minute and 7 seconds to go, and Hayden Deaton with the rebound of the game. No look pass, Warner in the middle. Down low to Godfrey, and he's fouled. I don't have to mention it, but it's a pro-Grace crowd here in their home court. They have not just fans, but every team watching because all 16 squads will be parading following the final buzzer. The next game, Grace women against Bluefield women. The Lady Rams against the Lady Lancers. In their first round affair as Eddie Gill IV checks in, or gets ready to check in for Grace. Richard Morgan in his 10th season, Jim Kessler in his 42nd season, both provide unmeasurable amounts of experience. Morgan from the player perspective, he spent 14 years as well coaching in the NCAA level. Morgan was a All-American with Virginia, reached the Elite Eight back in 1989. Kessler, I can't fit in all of his things, but Coach of the Year in 83 and 92, took home the Crossroad League's title back in 2012, and helped out with the Team USA training camp back in the summer of 2013 as the first free throw was good. And Godfrey can't complete the two-point play as it's 75-72 with 56 seconds to go. Jenkins takes it across the timeline. Grace in the white, Bluefield in the red. Winner goes to the semifinals of the NCCAA National Championship Tournament, and Morgan wants a timeout. We're gonna stick right here with you though. 45.8 to go. Bluefield, who reached the semifinals last season, missed the tournament in 2017, lost in the first round back in 2016. Grace missed the tournament last season, reached the semifinals with a double overtime thriller in 2017, reached the semifinal in 2016, lost in the championship back in 2014. Of course, Grace fans will never forget their incredible Cinderella run to the national semifinal of the NAIA tournament back in 2013 before they lost to the top-seeded William Penn. So both these coaches have been in clutch moments. Bluefield's team itself doesn't get much more intense than their regional game against Hiwassee, where they trailed by 2, tied it up, then took a 2-point lead with Francisco Williams free throws with 20 seconds to go before Hiwassee tied it up, and Francisco Williams hit a buzzer beater to send them right here to the NCCAA tournament. 45.8 to go, 16 on the shot clock. It's Nyquan Cousins to Jenkins. Gooch far from his hoop, not where he wants the ball. Hands it off to Concepcion. 6. 3 on the shot clock. Does he notice? 2, they tell him to chuck it up. He does, and it's off the backboard, a shot clock violation. Grace College can win it with the final shot. 29.1 to go, and Linville comes back in for Gill. All right, so who do you go with here? Do you go with the hot hand of Hayden Deaton, or do you go with the consistency of the senior Logan Godfrey? Maybe the junior matchup disaster in Charlie Warner. Martin Sheely's been hot. He hasn't missed a shot today. Kessler wants to talk things over. I mentioned double overtime in their first round game 2 years ago. You know Grace does not want to extend this to the extra session. On the flip side, Bluefield just has to defend. Just stop him from hitting a 3 here, and Bluefield comes out victorious. Has to be the opposite of what the Rams wanted from that possession, with Donnell Gooch holding it 30 feet from the rim, struggling to find it with 8 seconds on the shot clock, and forcing Concepcion into a very tough 3-point shot. Grace 1 for their last 4 shots. Deaton has made 3 of his last 4 from 3. The question is, do you drive and take the easy bucket here? Or do you try to tie it right off the bat and give yourself some time to foul? Bluefield, a 74% free throw shooting team, and it's Deaton who's gonna inbound it. Everyone way down there, so they'll bring Linfield up. All the fans rise down to our right. Coach Jim Kessler's final weekend at the helm here at Grace College before he transitions into an assistant AD position. The associate head coach, Scott Moore, is going to take over. How will Linville and company send him off? 16 on the clock, down by 3, defended by Concepcion, and there's a foul. Not sure if it was intentional or not. Didn't look intentional. We'll send Warner to the line. 14 seconds is a lot of time to intentionally foul up 3, so I don't think it was on purpose. Gill comes in for Linville in an offense-defense swap. And if there's someone you want at the line, it's Charlie Warner. He just missed a free throw, though. A big free throw, which would have cut it to 2. The first of a 1-and-1, smooth as butter, and it's 75-73. Warner, one of the best free throw shooters in the nation. 8th in the NCCAA at an 88% mark. Second one, it's good, a 1-point game. And now you have to foul if you're Grace, and they're gonna foul Jenkins, a 90% free throw shooter, truly one of the best in the nation. Sits at number 2 among all the NCCAA players. Worst case scenario, Grace will have a chance to tie with a 3. Best case scenario, Grace will have a chance to win with a 2. 13.5 on the clock. Fans at the edge of their seat. A spot in the semifinals against the top-seeded Cedarville Yellow Jackets awaiting tomorrow night at 5:15. Jenkins 1 for 1 from the line. Make it 2 for 2, and it rattles home. If there's ever gonna be a home court rim, the fans asking for it here. 76-74. 13.5 on the clock in the second half. And it's perfect. A 3-point lead. Deaton wants a timeout. So once again, same situation we were in about 11 seconds ago of playtime, not real time, of course. And this time we'll step away for just a second. Looks like Martin Shealy's gonna throw in the inbound pass. As we'll see if Hayden Deaton can find a way to get open. Last possession, it went with Grace trying to slow things down, and eventually a foul was called down low. 13.5 to go. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Loser faces Nebraska Christian tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. High drama from Winona Lake. Pass comes into Deaton. Swings it right side to Linville. 9 seconds to go. Someone falls, no foul called. Deaton steps back at Shealy. 3 seconds, Deaton for the tie, no good. And Bluefield College Rams silence the home crowd. And with the extremely hot shooting to the tune of 59% in the second half, 7 of 11 from 3, the 4th-seeded Bluefield College Rams continue the trend of the top seed winning out. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the semifinals in the men's bracket. As fans, some of them will stick by to watch their Lady Lancers take on the Lady Rams and try to get some revenge. Wrapping up from this one, Deaton's 22, not enough, as Concepcion's 20 and Naquan Cousins' 19 points in extreme acrobatic action take this one for the Rams. A fun finish, and hope you've enjoyed this production of NCCAA basketball. I'm Daniel Gilman saying so long and farewell. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. This has been production of the NCCAA.org's Basketball Network.
The NCCAA mission states, "We serve members by setting association standards, developing communications resources, providing regional and national competition, and partnering in outreach to our communities and the world." Bylaws, eligibility, statistics, and championships are all part of being an athletic association. Our services help propel intercollegiate athletics on and off campus. We intentionally place our student athletes and coaches in Christian service projects during championship events to answer the question, what would Christ do in these communities?